You too, girl.
Welcome back to the fifth day of Potlatch Fund's 19th annual fundraising gala, celebrating Indigenous vibrancy, with a week of giving and gala. Yesterday, we presented the 2021 Spirit of Reciprocity Award to our second awardee, Rickey Deekon Jones. Tonight, we will witness him and other amazing performances from Raye Zaragoza and Preston Singletary's band, Khu.éex. After the performances, please stick around for a short Q&A hosted by the Potlatch Fund. Now, it is my honor to present Khu.éex to kick off our artist reception.
Welcome, everybody, to the Khu.éex experience, live and direct from Puyallup territory. Acknowledge the Puyallup people here on this beautiful land. Gunachish Hatiadi Anyat Kusani, Siya Ureki, Atuwasagu, Yiguaya Juan, Guaya Juan, Bayisikan.
Off in the distance, drums vibrating through the wind. Listen, my people, we must defend brothers, sisters, fighting for their integrity. We are the warriors of this history. We are the warriors of this history. We are the protectors. We are the protectors.
Hey, welcome everybody out there. Come on now. Good news. On board. Woo.
So we're going to kick this off tonight with Past Life, and it's a song I wrote about how in multiple lifetimes you're seeking the same partners, and so we're wondering how we're going to meet in the next life as well. So here's past life.
I'm so used to this past life, I can never act right, baby. So please come and slow me down. I know you from a past life, searching for a lifetime, baby. I'm destined to hold you down. Just look what you've done to me. The streets just have not been the same. I'll give what you want from me. Even if it's my last name. You've always been my lifeline. Been after this the whole time. You have to see the code right. There's something that I won't fight. No one really knows me. That's why this is so deep. I'd rather sit here lonely than continue chasing trophies. How deep is your love? I'm even not willing to drown. When push comes to shove, it's rising, that's how I go out, how I go out. Just look what you've done to me. I wonder how we're gonna meet in the next life. I'll give what you want from me.
Life. Most my days I live like everybody else did. Snap to match the jersey, swinging well below my pelvis. BMX to VNF to catch the deli closing. Discount on the stale food, big bag of it, we rolling. Jumping off the speed bumps, avoiding neighborhood mutts. Fly the sunken garden, but I'd elevate it too much. Unhook the neighbor's sprinkler to hydrate from the heat wave. Hit the nearest water for a dip, then out to see things. But things we see ain't always what we shoulda. Happens. Some friends of mine were shielded from the life or lived lavish. I never had it sugar-coated, maybe that's the issue. Experience up, but let you know who with you. Then I gotta listen to the people that I grew up with, the closest have a view of how I'm thinking. The usage of the bougie life, and really feel the culture and the better than a nigga when we speaking. The funny how the whole role of the better than thoughts carried over to this day now. I never would have thought a mother that I taught would avoid me. You never did stay down. Why change now?
I fight and I try to survive, but I never find my way out. I can't seem to find my way out. I fight and I ride from inside, like it's my only way now. The only way to get my pain now.
The closest person in my life is left since birth. We constantly fighting death. I'm skilled at finding ways to skip a funeral. I try my best. 5 years old, killing 40 corners of St. Ides at best. Awaken smokers up, preventing fires, vomit chokes, and theft of innocence of children. Ain't no way she grows to find success unless she copes with violence. Avoid silence, fully decompress, and learn its vicious cycles. Just a cycle she can reconnect and pull away from those daddy uses to relieve the stress. The only way I feel like I'd have ever made it better was to medicate the people that I love most. I learned to separate, stay away from any feelings so I couldn't ever hurt and feel the love go. I'm living like I never had a heart, but I'm fighting just share a little bit of what I can now. Slowly coming out the pain, I remain unrestrained. I don't even give a f about a damn cloud.
From inside, but I never find my way out. I can't seem to find my way out. I hide and I hide from inside, like it's my only way down. The only way to get my pain down.
Thank you for rocking with us this evening. I'm Deekon Jones. These are the Fresh Tones. We appreciate you being here tonight. And the final song we're going to play for you is titled Role Change.
Hey lady, let me tell you why I never hit you back to keep you at a distance within my life. Oh yeah, you're hiding all, baby, but you'll be fun for the streets. When you're finished telling everybody how to treat you, just call on me. I'm real discreet, just we can leave, but just don't say my name. Don't take it personal, I've been this way. You said a sneaky link was okay. Now that we're here, there's been a long change. Yes, we can leave, but just don't say my name. Don't take it personal, I've been this way. You said a sneaky link was okay. Now that we're here, there's been a long change. I don't wanna lead you on, so let me tell you how I feel. When you tell the world that you're golden, all don't switch when you know the deal. You seem so confused, but I really am who I say. I don't think that you're used to this, but I don't think we should change. Why would I imply that we're moving deep? You can't even be real with me. When you're putting out there that you need a lead near the end of the week. Oh, yes, we can leave, but just don't say my name. Don't take it personal, I've been this way. You said it's it was okay. Now that we're here, it's been a long change. Yes, we can leave, but just don't say my name. Don't take it personal, I've been this way. You said a sticky was okay. Now that we're here, it's been a long change. Ooh. Don't take it personal, I live this way. You said I sneaky link was okay. Now that we're here, it's been a whole change. Say my name, been this way. Okay. Now that we're here, it's been a whole change.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raye Zaragoza, and it's such an honor to be performing for you today in celebration of the 19th annual gala. So I'm just really grateful to have been invited. And today I know we are celebrating Indigenous vibrancy. And so I wanted to play a song that kind of embodies Indigenous vibrancy to me. And that's my song, Rebel Soul. And this song is really about just embracing who you truly are and being your most authentic self and not really caring what other people say about you or what's expected of you, but being vibrant in your own unique way. And so this is Rebel Soul. I moved out to the city, all the vultures followed me, preying on my weakness like it was a disease. A few times it brought me to my knees, brought me to my knees. So I walked into the desert, fighting through the heat, searching for the answers that I can't seem to see. Tired of who they're wanting me to be, wanting me to be. When the only thing you're left with are your torn and tattered clothes. When you find yourself wandering down a dark and lonely road. When you've got a feeling in your heart that no one seems to know. Feeling like a complete unknown. I'm a rebel soul. I'm a rebel soul. I lifted up my head and I walked into the clouds. Decided that this moment won't ever get me down. Nobody's gonna stop me now, gonna stop me now. And the only thing you're left with are your torn and tattered clothes. When you find yourself wandering down a dark and lonely road. When you've got a feeling in your heart that no one seems to know. Feeling like a complete unknown. I'm a rebel soul. I'm a rebel soul. When the only thing you're left with are your torn and tattered clothes. When you find yourself wandering down a dark and lonely road. When you've got a feeling in your heart that no one seems to know. Feeling like a complete unknown. I'm a rebel soul. 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 Thank you so much, everyone. Again, I'm Raye Zaragoza, and I hope to see you soon.
Oh my gosh. Hello, everyone. Hoshla my name is KP, and I am the relationship manager at Potlatch Fund. I have black hair, brown skin, and I'm wearing a yellow dress in front of a pink background. I'm also supposed to have buns, but you cannot see those right now with the background. But I just wanted to welcome everyone and just say thank you so much for being here, for coming together virtually in this space. And I'm excited to host this Q&A, and so that everyone can get to know all of the performers, the artists that are a part of this artist reception. I want to thank our host nation, Puyallup Tribe, for being here in community with us this year. I also want to thank everyone for the tremendous amount of support during this virtual gala, this week of giving that we're having. And I want to also say that we are doing our silent auction, our online auction right now. So Preston has a piece in there, Raye has some stuff in there. And if you want to go and bid, I think that there's probably going to be a link in the chat dropped here shortly. But yeah, so also, yeah, I guess we'll get into it. So I wanted to have a chance for everyone to get to know the artists who have been a part of this artist reception, and to be able to just hear from them, hear about their lives, and hear what being an artist means to them. So I'm gonna go around and we're gonna do a Q&A, and I will ask everyone a question, and yeah, we'll have a nice good time. So I'm going to ask Preston first. I want you to please share who you are and what your musicianship means to you and your community.
Yes, my name is Preston Singletary, Tlingit, Killer Whale, Kagwantan, and I live in Seattle. I grew up here, and I grew up inside this musical area, and that was my first love. And then I got drawn into glass blowing, so I make art, and you can see some of my art, my glass art behind me in this virtual screen. And but I've always played music, and it was initially it was rock and funk, jazz music, and I ended up starting a band, working with Native musicians. And to me, it so the group Khu.éex, the group that we featured earlier, we use Tlingit, Haida, Yupik language on the upcoming album, and we like to think of it as a bit of language preservation, composing new songs with these indigenous languages. And we're not really widely known, only because we don't play out very often, and we're a 10-piece group, and so it's really tricky to get everybody together. But we are going to be performing, I just have to plug this, on the 26th of November at the High Dive in Fremont. So we're going to be that'll be our LP release party, and I'm really hoping that some of y'all can come out and check us out and see what we're doing. I really enjoyed learning about the other two musicians here. It's really, really wonderful to I love hearing what Indigenous musicians are doing, and how they can bring, a different perspective to our culture.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for that introduction. What about you, Deekon? Can you share who you are and what your musicianship, your artistry, what it means to you and to your community?
Sure, I'm Deacon Jones. I'm from Lapway, Idaho, Nez Perce, and music to me was everything at all times since I was a baby. My parents, it was always funk, Motown, soul, and then it grew to hip hop when I was 3, 4, and 5 with I have an older brother. He's 14 years older than me, so he was bringing in all of the hip hop, and that's what kind of made me want to make music, is listening to the hip hop and the stories that they tell. And so I used music from an early age just to kind of write down any issues that I had. I put it into musical form, and then I would burn it or throw it away, and just think that it was some sort of therapy for me. And that's what kind of led me to creating New Developed Nations, that Healing Through Hip Hop program. So I can in my community, the music is more therapy than just entertainment. So I work with youth to create their own music, tell their stories, and do counseling for them through hip hop and whatever genre they choose. So music to me is a lifesaver.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. What about you, Raye? Like, what can you share who you are and what your musicianship means, what playing music means to you and your community?
Hi everyone, I'm Raye Zaragoza, and I'm wearing a blazer, short brown hair. It's good to be here. So I'm of Akimel Autham descent. I'm also Mexican and Japanese and Taiwanese. I was born and raised in New York City, and I live in Los Angeles, and I've been playing folk Americana music since high school. And for me, what music means to me is, it's like, it's really a way of making sense of a lot of kind of like the sad and difficult and confusing things around me in the world. And whenever I feel like I need to make sense of something, I need to process something, whether it's something that hurt my feelings or something that's weighing heavily on me, my way of healing is through writing a song. And I think that as a mixed race woman, as an Indigenous woman, I've always used music as a way to shine light on things that are not often spoken about, especially in like the folk Americana music world, and wanting to make diverse stories something that we hear a lot in this genre. And so that's, for me, like my greatest goal with my music is to empower youth of color and know that they can do anything they want. They can be a folk Americana music artist, or our stories are important.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I love it. There it seems like there's like this theme, I think, with everyone so far, and sharing who you are with. There's a lot of meaning behind what you do, and there's a lot of meaning with the connection that you have to your community and to the people that you are playing music to, that you're playing music with. So I wanted to share, this year our theme of our gala is Indigenous vibrancy, and that comes from a place of showing our abundance and showing the ways in which we thrive as Indigenous people. And I think one of those ways is through music, and is through creating those connections. And like you said, through therapeutic ways, and through like language revitalization, through showing up for your communities. And so I guess I want to go around too and ask, like, is there a way in which, you know, vibrancy shows up within the work that you all do, within the music that you play, maybe within a song, within an album? Is there a way that you show up in that way? So maybe we can go to Preston first again, and we'll go around the same route.
Yeah, I mean, I was always attracted to music because I was attracted to music through Scott Joplin, you know, the ragtime pianist, you know, and it was like that syncopation and that complex rhythm. That's what drew me in, and I wanted to learn how to play like that. So from there, I went to guitar because it was closer to the musical styles I was listening to in high school, and I eventually ended up on the bass. But you know, for me, it's like playing with this sort of improvisational funk, rock, jazz style. I believe that it takes the music to new levels. So I work with jazz musicians who are really, really established, and they bring a whole nother level of musicianship to the project that we're working on. Initially, we recorded with this individual named Bernie Worrell, who was the keyboard player for Parliament Funkadelic. And we collaborated with him for 3 years, and he helped us produce 4 triple LPs. The 4th album is coming out within weeks, and then that's hopefully what we're going to be releasing at our event when we play on the 26th. But you know, to me, that I work collaboratively with musicians, and I don't direct too much. I mean, I brought everybody together. So I'm sort of like the curator. You know, I curated this group of people to come together, and I just let them kind of turn them loose, and we don't, you know, we find this, it's a very organic process. We're able to you know, get into sort of social commentary, political commentary, improvisational music, groove, and all of the above. And I believe that energy just kind of snowballs when you're firing on all cylinders. You get 10 people up on stage. It's really hard to deny that you know, there's this force, and it's exciting. And you know, for me, it's not very it's not very financially sustainable, but I got to do it. I'm driven to play music, and I love performing live, and that interaction that happens, you know, with a group of people in a live setting is really unmatchable. And so that's how some things that I feel. And the last thing I would put in is that Bernie Worrell, we call him the Wizard of Woo. You know, he was the woo that would draw people in, and he wanted to unify people through music. And he could listen to the birds and tell you what key they were singing in. He could, you know, he was just an amazing musician, and he, you know, believed that all this music came through him. And so, you know, had the good fortune of working with him for 3 years, and I feel like I learned a lot in that time. And it was, you know, it was very special. So.
Hey, Shabbat. Thank you. What about you, Deekon?
Yeah, for me, music and the energy that comes from music, I can't even explain it. It's I'm not trained on any instrument, and I'm really introverted. So when it comes to performing and doing all of those things that are sometimes required to get your voice heard, I cringe, and I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. And then when I do it, I can't get enough of it, you know? And so I'm just kind of, I'm kind of torn between the two. So all of the music that I create, like all of the music that in the performance that I created, I couldn't tell you what key it was in. I couldn't tell you any progressions and or any of that. And so the musicians that I work with, I tell them, you guys huddle up and figure out your language, and
get back to me, because once they tell me what keys everything in, I write it down, and I'm like, okay, now if I have to work with anybody else, I could tell them. So I'm constantly learning in music, and it's a lot of fun to do it that way. And it's really funny when I go to work with people and they ask me, well, what key are you in? It's like the simplest question. And I'm tapping on the keyboard. I'm like, that's D, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I think that's D right there. Good job. So but it's the only way that I feel like I can be heard is through the music that I write. And so it's a weird relationship that I have with music, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's awesome. What about you, Ray? How does vibrancy show up within what you do?
Well, I really connect with what you said, Deekon, about not being trained in instruments. I'm the same way. I do not know what key I'm in. I do not many times know what chords I'm playing. I do everything by ear, and I think it's important to talk about because it is this, you don't have to be a trained musician and know everything about reading music and have a music education to be able to pursue music. And I think that's really important to say. So I just wanted to echo what you said, Deekon, because I really resonate with it. And for me, the vibrancy comes in that way. It comes in this energy. I think there's something, this, like a sacred energy about music. And sometimes I feel like I know how to be my most authentic self far more when I'm playing and writing music than I do walking on the street or like in social situations. Like I feel a lot less authentic in when I'm speaking than I do when I'm singing. And I can't really tell you why. It just feels like there's this energy, there's like a vibrancy inside of me that needs to be expressed through music. And it's the only way I know how to communicate that part of myself. And so yeah, that's how I find vibrancy in music.
Oh, that's so beautiful, everyone. I'm like tearing up. Well, I really just want to say thank you for being a part of this event and for just sharing all of your beautiful music. I want everyone to know what you all are up to next. I know, Preston, you already shared that you have an album coming out. Like, what is on the horizon? What's your 5-year goal? 10-year? I don't know. No, but like, what's next? What's next?
Well, I mentioned this period of time working with this Bernie Worrell. We just during this past year, we did record our new album. It's the first post Bernie material that we have developed. We've recorded it, so that we'll be following up with another album pretty quick. There's a full-length documentary that's being produced about the group, based on kind of the evolution and some of the, and everybody that has been involved. So I've been working with some documentary filmmakers for the past 6 or 7 years, and they've just been following me around, watching my hair turn gray, and this. So there's an art doc, and then there's this music doc. Music doc will be out first. We've got about 20 new songs that we would like to record. We'd like to travel to. There's a place called Sonic Ranch in El Paso, Texas, which is like kind of a musical retreat. And we're gonna try to record our album live this time. What we've done in the past is do everything, basic tracks and lots of overdubs and all this stuff. And so, I mean, unfortunately, I tried applying for these grants. I had a vision where I wanted to create like a, if you're familiar with musician Fela Kuti, he had this place where he jammed in Nigeria, and it was a club, and he played every weekend, and people came, and it became like this thing. And I'd love to see the same thing with Indigenous musicians. We could, we kind of travel into different regions, and then kind of grab, bring in some people from that region, and sit with them and collaborate with them and perform for their community and do that. But it's such a steep hill to climb to try to get the funds together for on any level. I mean, just not let alone for a 10-piece band. But so these things that I'm trying, I wish that I could work out. I mean, I've applied to different granting organizations for major support, and I think people know me for my visual art. It's like, oh yeah, he's doing fine. He didn't need no money. I'm like, hey man, it's the music. The music is a different world for me, and so and it's something that I just want to do. So those are some of the things that I would love to see develop, and maybe us musicians here, we can kind of put that in our hat, and think about that. Like, how can we get out, get on the road, even just within our state, we can travel to Spokane, we're going to hit up Spokane and work with people there, and just spend that time, because that's what we need. We need to. There's a lot of this COVID world that we're living in. We need this time to be able to come together and heal and discuss kind of what we're all going through. I mean, we have this shared experience that we have to, as Indigenous people. It's different. It's different than the other, the rest of society, and so we need to learn to help each other. So that's what I'm hoping for.
There's a lot of really, really good stuff, and a lot of really good ideas. And thank you for putting that out there in this space as well. Yeah. What about you, Deekon? What's next for you?
Yeah, I'll speak to what he said as well. It's hard to convince people that civics are important, right? It can be pushed to the side because it's like, well, you're trying to do music, we're trying to save lives, and we're saying we're trying to save lives through music, because a lot of the outcomes that I've seen in inpatient and outpatient utilizing my programming are really promising, showing that music is one of the more powerful mediums to getting the outcomes that we're seeking, especially in Indigenous communities with substance use and trauma. And so what I'm doing is the band that you saw me playing with, we threw that together in a couple of weeks, and we jammed twice, and then we recorded. And what the best thing is everybody says that they want to continue. They really like the vibe and what we're doing. So we're actually working on, I'm working on trying to build a fully analog studio so I can record an album that if you put it on, it sounds like it was from 1973. I just want it to be that sound. And so we're working on that right now. And I'm also working with a team that's building a jazz club here in Spokane, and to be able to kind of curate performances and do a lot of other things like that. So when you were speaking about having a place where people can come and play, that's I'm definitely gonna have to broadcast. It should be open January 2022, and I'm gonna have to broadcast, come here, this is where you have to come, this is where you have to come play, have some fun, and we can kind of spread the musical love that way. And I'm probably doing too many things right now, but there's a ton of other community organizing pieces that I'm doing. The Community Development Initiative, that's an organization I started that is for autonomy in the BIPOC community economically. So any entrepreneurs that have the idea to start a business but don't know how, they've never started a business because they don't have the funds, I want to be able to fund them and give them a space that they can come to and open their business, buy them their insurances, buy them their licensure, give them, just break down all the barriers to entry to becoming an entrepreneur. And so all of that is happening at the same time as I'm gonna open Culture, which is it's gonna be a first foods restaurant, and there'll be a lot of vegan options there. So I started eating plant-based like 6 months ago, and I'm trying to spread the word that a lot of the issues that we've been having have a lot to do with what we eat. So the food sustainability, first foods, revitalizing all of that, I think it'd be a pretty fun project to do. So I'm doing a lot, and I'm trying to maintain, but that's what I have coming.
Die of Hash, that's beautiful. Thank you. What about you, Ray? What have you got on the horizon that's up next?
Yeah, it's amazing to hear what you're both up to, and I can't wait to like learn more and amplify your work too. You both have a lot on your on your plates. It's amazing. Um, and for me, what's next? Well, I'm here. I'm in Pennsylvania right now. I'm working on a musical, and so I'm trying to dip my toe into different kinds of music writing. So I'm working on a musical right now, and I'm a part of a documentary film about different Indigenous artists and called Wave Guides. KP also a part of the film we're working on. Writing new music. I'm working on this new children's TV show on Netflix called Spirit Rangers that has an all Indigenous writers room, and I write all the music for the kids and for the adults too. There's adults who are on the show. And that's been really fun. And, like I said earlier, my passion is empowering youth. And so this show is specifically empowering preschoolers, and it's about really appealing to children at their when they're so young and just getting to listen to music. So that's been really fun. And I have some other projects writing. I have a new music video for my song Change Your Name come out, which is a song about my mother's immigration story, and have an essay about that I'm trying to get out there about the significance of name changes and in the immigrant community, also in the Indigenous communities, and what that means, and kind of reclaiming the name that you want, that you identify with, and then yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm working on. And I've been on tour for a while, and I'm excited to get home and kind of ground myself and and get to more writing when I get home as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Hawatav Shalub, thank you, folks. Thanks for being here and for sharing everything, for being a part of the Q&A, for sharing your music and all of your words of wisdom with everybody. I think this concludes our work here today and coming together. And I just wanted to quickly say, we're still in our gala mode. Tomorrow is our main event with our main fundraising event. So if you've registered, you have the link you got the link for today. There will be another email that's sent out for tomorrow. And also, please check out the silent auction, online auction items, Preston's beautiful glass blown basket. Ray has some music. So please check those out, and then support Indigenous artists and Indigenous musicians. Visit all the links that we put in the chat. But yeah, I think we'll see everyone tomorrow for our virtual live gala. And I hope that everyone has a beautiful rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here. All right. See you later. Khu.éex.